You are about to experience the knowledge and insights of the Media Mothership.
All right, yeah. Media Mothership back.
Woo!
Entirely back. I'm on it. A little bit of background music.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And also this now. My Atomatome. Atamatone. This will be the musical accompaniment for today.
Yep.
As people can see, it's a wonderful invention out of Japan that will be providing musical interlude music. So this is Media Mothership, as always, and we're broadcasting out of Edge Radio Studios here in Nipaluna, Hobart, Tasmania. Yeah. I like to think it's more like the Tracy Island from Thunderbirds kind of vibe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Broadcasting out of a satellite. Media Mothership explores how media can shape our understanding of the world around us. We're streaming on edgeradio.org.au.
Yeah, correct. Well done.
As well as on YouTube and Twitch. You can find us just by searching Media Mothership.
Yeah, and then pretty much anything that comes up with Media Mothership, you've made.
Yeah, it's a great name. Message us on the chat at YouTube or Twitch
or on the text line 04888 11707.
Yep, 0488 11707.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing the energy to the show. That was good. I'm your host, Dr. Craig, joined by Lord Taylor.
Woo, yeah. We've got our titles back.
We do. Thank you, Nathan, for posting while we were in PAX. While I was in PAX, left Lord Taylor behind. We did get a query where Lord Taylor was, and I thought I interestingly said he was missing an opportunity to establish his domain. Big Boy Nady's already on the chat. Thanks very much. Hi. It's been a hot minute since I've had you both on. Yeah, this is third week back. Well, 2 weeks off, now back. Flu and cold for the first week and a half, then PAX. So
back on the air, talking rubbish.
Although next week will probably be a repeat show because we've got the Community Broadcast Association of Australia's conference.
Yeah, CBAA conference. We are both invited guests.
Wow, we both paid for tickets.
We both paid for tickets. And you can pay for tickets too.
That's right. Yeah.
About $700, $800.
We'll be there signing autographed copies of podcasts. Today's topic will be a little bit of a brief recap of PAX, in case no one knows of it. It's Australia's biggest video game convention.
Okay, that'll be good because I've never gone to PAX and I don't know what PAX really is, and so I can be the listener in this scenario and ask you questions.
That would be very useful. That you can play that role, and that'll bring upon your acting abilities as well.
Not really. I actually don't know anything about PAX.
That's true. So it'll be very, very real. So we'll talk about that as well as go over some of the news from the last 3 weeks. All that and more on Media Mothership. I reckon.
I think I prefer the kalimba, actually. That's quite sad.
I'm getting the scales. All right, sorry.
That's scales,
okay. Who knows? Thanks, Tommy. All right, let's do a little bit on PAX. So,
first of all, what's PAX?
Well, it's interesting. It's based on the webcomic Penny Arcade, right?
So that's the PA.
Yep.
And X is
and
Expo.
Yeah, you're doing really well. So I went to the Penny Arcade is a comedy webcomic based on video gaming, and they were looking for a convention. This is in the US that would be solely focused on their interest of video games. Right? There are a lot of other conventions, of course, like Comic-Con and so forth, but they were looking for one specifically which would be tailored to video games. And so they've been doing it for a number of years there. They've got East and West PAX, I believe. PAX Aus is the Australian extension of that. I don't believe there's any other overseas ones. There might be, but anyway, Melbourne is the other big one because you got AX West, PAX East, and PAX Aus, and then PAX Unplugged. So that was just over the weekend. So basically, as I've just covered, it mainly looks at video games and a lot of tabletop stuff as well, right? So there's a lot of board games. It's spread over 3 days that it goes through. So it's quite a big kind of gaming festival, like Nintendo's there with a booth. They got Sonic stuff. Xbox was there. The Fallout franchise was there. They had converted one of the kiosks into a kind of Fallout themed kiosk. It's mainly, it's mainly the cosplay. I mean, I took notes.
Okay, so it's like cosplay and the opportunity to buy trinkets, right?
Well, there's
themed trinkets.
I mean, the large kind of huge warehouse shed is mainly for you're jumping on a video game console or you're getting merchandise and paraphernalia around video games.
I prefer to call them trinkets.
There was our friend Marcus, friend of the show, who comes on to do wrestling discussion, was there doing the live commentary for the Mario Kart challenge, which was happening. There's a lot of indie games. So Tassie had a number of indie game stalls where they were demoing and demonstrating their games. So you could grab a console controller and kind of play it through levels. So there's as you walk through, there's a big indie game space. Then you've got the kind of mainstream game space, and then you walk further down. So I picked up in terms of merch, I picked up only free stuff. So there was the Crunchyroll had a booth there. So I picked up a cardboard Chainsaw Man thing. So yeah, a couple of people were sporting the Chainsaw Man. I'll wear it in next week. And then you walk past there, and then you get into the tabletop space. So there's a lot of retailers selling various board games. There's some Australian indie board games there you can see. I got stuck I couldn't move any further because then I came across the minis, right? Miniature figurines.
Oh, right.
Right?
Oh, yeah, because I saw you painted one.
Yeah. Oh, I painted 6
Oh, wow.
by the end of Saturday. There were 2 booths that was set up. One, a kind of Warhammer 40K one, where you kind of queued up and you got a ticket to then later on go back, and they had all these tables set up where you were joined by others to paint a kind of Warhammer Marine mini.
Were you guided through it? Or?
No, you just got half an hour.
Wow.
And there's got paintbrushes, and they ask, have you ever painted minis before? And the first time I said, no, not really. So he said, just do a base coat with these colors first, like a yellow or something, and then try and do some detailing with your golds and silvers. And then we're off with half an hour. And it just went like that. And my hand was shaking throughout all of it because it was very small detailing work. So it was kind of interpretive. But then I don't know if it was the paint or the minis, but I wanted to go back for more.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, well, it was acrylic paint, so it wasn't enamel, so it wasn't the reason I was hallucinating by the end. It was probably lack of water. But then there was another group that was setting up a paint and take.
Right.
So you get to keep, like they'll give you the mini for free, and you paint it. And paint and take, same setup, you longer queue, but there's more tables. And in that case, you didn't need to go back. You just lined up in queue. You chose a mini, so there's some Star Wars ones, some Stormtroopers, the Akbar race, the Calamarian race from Star Wars. They had some a PAX exclusive kind of chest of eating thing.
Oh, right.
And a kind of knight figure. That's from a guy in the US, a guy that's developed his own paints, Douglas something or other. And he'd set that up in combination with a group of volunteers that were helping man it, as well as the business. And yeah, there I did 5 minis.
Wow.
So I bumped into a person who said, Craig, you better be careful with your wallet if you're getting into your minis. Big Boy Nady said, how was PAX? Also, I thought Taylor died or something until I saw him today.
It's true.
Yeah, well, Pixar, it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
always think, Big Boy Nady.
Yeah.
Pixar, it didn't happen. So I was trying to message back to the family, but it ended up just being minis.
Yeah.
Establish I have here. Minis and a lot of photos of the furries. Great furry cosplaying space there. So furries, of course.
I thought you said ferry.
the animal cosplayers out in force. So I mainly spent it there and there. I didn't get much further to play board games. The kind of remaining quarter of this huge warehouse complex was just table space for either competitive tabletop gaming, so like Azul and a couple others, or kind of co-op gaming. Blood on the Clock Tower, I didn't get around to doing, but that I know was there. Or you could just had a kind of lending library of tabletop games that you could just borrow and go to a table and play.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I spent most of the day painting minis or outside trying to build up the courage to take photos of cosplays.
Or scabbing free items.
Okay, well, yeah, of course. I mean, you try to get as much loot as you can.
Yeah.
I did go to a couple of panels, which were really interesting. The first panel I went to was disappointing and revealing in some ways. It was a panel by 3 or 4 games journalists who were doing ranking food in video games. Right, which is, it's a really interesting idea, right? They had like the meat in Minecraft, the hot dogs in
Did they make the
Cyberpunk
food and then
2077.
eat it?
That would be more interesting. No, they just did a picture on it and a graph. But I kind of thought they really needed like a chef or a foodie on to actually break apart the food, because it ended up the panel. I mean, that panel, some of the panels can either be, basically very fan oriented. So that was 3 or 4. I think it was 4 podcast journalists, right, who also have developed a huge podcast base, which was all there in force. But I missed all the jokes they were giving during
all in-jokes.
in-jokes. Kind of like I fear how we'd go if we did a panel. It would be a little hit and miss.
When it comes to food in games, the most impressive one that I've seen is Final Fantasy 15.
Oh yeah, what was the food in that?
Basically, well, I haven't played it in a really long time, so I can't actually remember the thing of it. But I think at the end of every day, or when you want to heal or something like that, you go to a campsite and you get one of the characters to cook a meal.
Right.
And it can be like you mix together the ingredients and stuff like that. And the end result food looks pretty damn real.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I guess that's what was lacking in that. So that was ranking the best food in video games with actual video games journalists. They didn't explain what their metrics was.
Yeah.
Right? How are they ranking the food? Is it by realism? Is it by potential flavor? Is it by the visual representation of it? Is it by the storytelling importance of it? They didn't really explain it.
That does sound like they missed a lot there.
Well, I think from what I could gather and what they were saying, they kind of just put it together in the moment.
Okay, yeah.
It kind of felt. But what I was left with was their fantastic fan base, right? It was a packed audience, and there was a lot of, dialing it to volume 11 to cheer them on, except for me, who was just sitting there. I took a lot of notes, right?
Yeah.
These are all the typical academic notes that I took during it. So I started writing, like there's a kind of, there was a very much a blue pill, red pill vibe to it.
Okay,
right? If you know the Matrix, right? You go into a choice. Am I going to kind of stand outside of this experience and take the blue pill and still be kind of in my ordinary world and think none of this makes sense? Or do I buy the ticket and take the ride with the red pill and immerse myself into this rabbit hole and see how far the rabbit hole goes?
And you...
I definitely red-pilled... well, I definitely red-pilled the minis.
Okay, yeah.
Right? People must have seen me with this weird look in my eyes because, they were going, you're going to need a second job, Craig.
Yeah.
If you want to sustain this. I am thinking of setting up a new show on Edge.
Oh, really?
which will be Warhammer minis.
Really?
Yeah, so I can just get free minis to review because I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to get through this. If you're interested in that, feel free to SMS in if you want to be. Maybe I can get you, Taylor, into the minis.
Actually, I'd think I'd love it. I love painting.
Yeah. Well, let us know. I mean, I've heard that there's a free mini month, or no, once every month. One of the retail stores in the city does mini painting.
Oh, really?
And I think you sometimes can get a promotional one. I think it's the Warhammer one, the Warhammer store. I don't know. I'm going to look into it. SMS in now if you are. There's a Games Workshop store. So I was thinking blue pill, red pill is one way to approach PAX.
Yeah.
In terms of thinking it like the Matrix.
Engage or don't engage.
Yeah, engage or don't engage. And some of the experiences are blue pill, right? You feel like you've taken the blue pill and it's like, or you're just going to have lunch or something. I like the ordinary world. But there are opportunities to go deep into it, into the knowledge, right? So certainly the cosplay space. I spent a great lunch chatting with a cosplayer. And this is something to talk about, the protocols and ethics of getting your photo with a cosplayer.
All right, yeah.
Because I was asking them, I felt kind of nervous. And a couple of times when I was about to ask a cosplayer for a photo, I felt like I was getting in the way of a conversation they were having, or they looked like they were going somewhere. So I kind of thought, I'll just not ask them. I'll wait for them. And so what I was doing, like there was a group of hell divers that looked fantastic. And they were there with the like the blue uniform guy, the normal, like the SEC security team. I don't know, the other non-Helldiver troops that are in Helldiver. Anyway, so I kept kind of hovering around them. I start walking towards them to ask. And then I go, oh, no, they're about to do something. And so I was chatting to this cosplayer, and she was saying, no, actually, what you've just done is the very worst thing. Because they'd be looking at this person. They'd see this person in the periphery, circling them and going towards them, then going out for them. And they'd be thinking, this guy is either a problem that we're going to have to fix. Because, like, is he a creep? Is he someone that's looking to take something?
Yes.
Or is he, like, super socially anxious? Oh, wow. So they said, look, the thing is not to hesitate and just go straight in for the request. Just say, hey, love your cosplay. Can I get a photo? And they said, look, I mean, because I was there with the handler as well. And the handler said, because the handler, like if you have a complicated cosplay, often you need someone else with you if there's a wardrobe malfunction or if there's, gear they need to hold for you. Anyway, so the handler said, let's walk from the bar where we were to the entrance of PAX and you'll see what it's like.
Come on, Craig, you can do it.
So I walked with them and I was talking with them all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So I was sending out the vibe that, hey, I'm in a conversation. And sure enough, we got interrupted 3 times.
Yeah.
And they were cosplaying from the protagonist from Hades 2 video game.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, really, really cool. I had not played that game. Right. Yeah, I'd not played that game, so I wasn't familiar with it. But I said, certainly people around her knew. And yeah, took a number. Oh, Seif, that's it. Thank you, Big Boy Nady. The Seif group from Helldivers. And sure enough, we just got interrupted. And I didn't feel slighted in the least, right?
Right. Okay,
I mean, the way that the cosplayer handled it, like, I would come up and say, I'd be making this point about the simulacra and the red pill. It's very important. And the guy would suddenly appear and go, love your cosplay. Can I get a photo? And stop, pause, photo. I did ask about, because there was that cosplay is not consent moral panic that went through the community like 5 years ago. So I was asking about, do you ever get people wanting a hug or something more? And she's saying, oh, not too bad these days. Normally, if someone wants a photo, there's a recognition that because you're in a sexy cosplay doesn't mean you're asking sexy hug time, right? I mean, people seem to be getting the etiquette on that level, which is great, right? I think there's still creeps out there.
There's creeps everywhere.
But yeah,
it's creeps in this room.
It seemed a very supportive, safe space. There's no creeps in this room. It seemed a very supportive, safe space. So I love the cosplay. I did take photos from afar only.
Yeah.
Because
that's the point when you go to these events. The whole reason that they're there is for you to take photos.
Well, Nick and Wendy, fellow Edge radio presenters from Mental Connections, if you look at their Instagram feed, Mental Expressions has a number of. They've got one from
Mental
Iron Man,
Connections,
Connections,
not
Expressions, Mental Expressions. They've got a number of photos, which I was very envious of.
Did
One with
they
Iron
dress
Man.
up? Sherlock Holmes, Dr.
No,
Watson? Oh.
no, they should have. Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Holmes. Yeah, I'm thinking of dressing up as one of the crew members from the alien spaceship Nostromo, because it's a very easy cosplay. All right, just a shirt, some patches. I've got the hat.
I'd dress up as someone from The Office.
Oh yeah, like
Just because then
I don't know if you
you
get recognized. You need something.
trousers.
You need something that's a bit more identifiable. Main theories I had, if you're following along at home, was a strong sense of hyperreality.
This
Right.
is at PAX.
At PAX, right? Where you've got, this blurring of the real world and the fictional world. At one point on Saturday, the fire alarm got tripped. And
Saw
so,
that too.
some people were saying, it's just a mistake. It's okay. It's a simulation. It's not real. Other people were just, I got caught in the middle of it as I was trying to get back in. And then the fire alarm came. Probably the most hyperreal experience is where you see people in full military gear or police gear, and you think, particularly police gear, it's like, the real police
Yeah.
or not. So there are moments where it kind of gets in between. So there's a very kind of wonderfully postmodern, as Baudrillard would say, simulacra that's going on, where you can't really tell, or the fantasy overrides the reality, right? You want photos, and all the cosplayers looked fantastic. I went to the cosplay competition, and they were absolutely amazing
Who won?
cosplays. It was someone wearing a kind of 18th century petticoat thing.
All right.
Yeah, it was, again, sorry, I wasn't familiar with the game, but it was fantastic. She hand-stitched all the flowers.
Oh, wow.
They're like French flower design. So, yeah, quite amazing. Worth looking on YouTube if you
Yeah.
can. There was a lot of cultural capital on display. Again, not knowing what most of the cosplay was, I felt culturally impoverished
Yeah.
in terms of my capital.
So nothing from Crusader Kings or whatever you play. Whatever it is.
Sadly, no. But there was a lot of Helldivers, so I was glad
Yeah.
I'd done my... In fact, my theory is there was only one Stormtrooper at all that I
right.
saw, right? So very little Star Wars cosplay. No Jedis that I saw, only one Stormtrooper. I think all of them have migrated over to Helldivers. And the
Yeah.
cosplaying of Helldivers is fantastic. As a gamer that plays this science fiction universe, kind of pseudo-fascist Starship Troopers space, the cosplay for the Helldivers, their capes, their helmets, most of them were in the kind of default black uniform.
Okay, yeah.
But there were someone in kind of medic uniform and a heavy uniform. It was brilliant. So a lot of kind of, performativity. You get to be the fantasy that you are. You get to be the desire, right? So a ton of fantasy that was on display, and it was total immersion. Once you walk through, you're either immersed as a kind of gamer, just trying to get through all the indie games. People in the 80s said it's because EA made bad Star Wars games. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the Star Wars video game
Battlefront.
space, hasn't really. And Battlefront, sorry, had still has good player numbers because they haven't really improved on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of total immersion. Either you're doing stuff like gaming or mini painting or tabletopping.
Do they have any like VR exhibits?
They had some car driving sim setups, but it
okay.
wasn't VR. It was all that kind of panoramic view monitor
yeah.
experience with.
No, I was just hoping that they had those.
Yeah, it's interesting.
What's it called? Those all-way treadmills.
Yeah,
That's what I was hoping to see.
that would have been fun. Look, I didn't see it. If it was there, I missed it. So yeah, there was. I mean, it was a little. I mean, Zizak.
Sorry.
The scholar Zizak would say there's a little bit of perversion going on in the convention
Okay.
in terms of you kind of know it's ultimately a very commercial event, right? There's a lot of business there. I mean, even with the minis, right? You're getting all your you're getting a mini for free to do, but then
you're going to get addicted and you're going to buy all of our stuff.
That's right. Well, they were giving vouchers for discounts, but even that is first one's free, and but you do still enjoy it. So it is that kind of perversion in terms of your double thinking. I know I'm being sold to. I know I'm kind of part of this business logic, which is underpinning the free stuff I'm getting.
So were they good deals, or was it like Taste of Tasmania, where they just tack on 3.5 times the amount?
I didn't buy anything and got quite a big stash of stuff. I mean, they were giving away. I picked up these a Borderland mask from a character in Borderlands, the latest one.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I didn't feel at all like I was being overcharged in the event itself, and there was tons of free water.
Oh,
it's
nice.
incredible. Yeah, it's like I was constantly refilling my bottle.
That's
with water.
Brilliant.
Water stations everywhere.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to be in cosplay, you're probably going to need to have a lot of water. If you're in like a big bulky one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, look, I think there was a lot of support. There was a cosplay kind of repair station that's set up with a live camera that you can watch. But yeah, tons of it was all about belonging, getting recognition for the fandom you engage with, right? And kind of a vindication, kind of a sense that you're respected, right? Whatever your interest is in fandom, it's probably going to have some element there that could be enjoyed. And again, this was my first PAX, so I know on the Reddit comments there were many people saying it wasn't as good as previous ones.
But for your first one,
it was great. Yeah, I mean, most of the criticism I saw online was that the booth costs have gone up, so a lot of the smaller vendors aren't there. Right. So and a lot of the niche ones, like there was meant to be a woman that sold fudge chocolate. She wasn't there.
So was there like a retro game space as well? Like
I did see
Bobble,
some Instagram posts
pinball.
of some retro stuff. I didn't spend any time in the gaming space.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
I was gaming adjacent, I guess, with the minis. Right, so it was more tabletop. I did go to the so I went to, as I said, a couple of panels. I went to the there were two really good panels that had experts in an area talking about how video game versions get it or don't get it. So the first one I went to was swordsmanship in video games.
Right.
And they had an excellent panel on of competitive swordsmen who do various levels of medieval swordsmanship work. From rapier stuff to, your full armor with a hammer and you hit them as hard as you can events. And they were also gamers, and they were unpacking that Kingdom 2.
Oh, Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yep, that one. And Valheim, the Norse one, and a couple of others. And they would have snippets of it, and then they'd unpack it. And they had these foam swords that then they'd demonstrate how the mechanics do or don't work as they should in real life. So I learned a lot. And then I went to a ghost hunting in real life versus video games. And that was amazing. It was mainly female presenters who are ghost hunters. And they were talking, they had all the equipment they have there, like the monitors, audio. So there's some science. And then
it's not science, it's pseudoscience.
Port Arthur got a shout out as an inciting incident for one of them as to why they're a believer in it, the ghost tours. Sure. It's not rubbish.
See, I'm sorry, it is. There's no such thing as ghosts.
We should Fox Mulder and Scully this from X-Files.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, anyway.
Well, I know what X-Files is, I don't know.
Yeah, but then they talked about Phasmagoria and various video games they play.
I'm fairly sure it's Phantasmagoria.
Oh, Phantasmagoria, yeah. See, you're into it. And they unpack that in terms of They also live stream that, but then they were talking about
Can
the
you live stream ghosts?
the video games.
Oh, right.
Live
Sorry.
stream the video games. But they do record their ghost hunting as well.
Yeah.
And that was very visual. That was very satisfying. And then I went to the Lit RPG. So I went down to up to PAX with the author Shirtaloon, who does the He Who Fights with Monsters series. And Lit RPG, of course, is a kind of gaming literature, which is modeled around role-playing game mechanics. So many of the Lit RPG stories have quite dense mechanic explanations as terms of how wizards' powers work.
Yeah.
But one of the definitions that came up in the panel that they said they'll often give is Lit RPG is like Lord of the Rings, where you understand that Gandalf is a level 20 wizard.
Yeah.
Right? So the idea of levels, the idea of specific mechanics which are quantifiable, which define how, the science of the magic works in that world. And that panel was really well attended. It was right at the end of the day. There was a lot of interest in it. So again, it was a broad spectrum of deep diving into gaming and gaming adjacent engagements. And people regard it as pretty much the big convention in Australia now.
Was there a like upcoming games, or was it just stuff that's already out?
Well, there was. I did go to three big panels. Announcement type of things. One was the Magic the Card Gathering game, right?
Yeah.
And he made some announcements about cards.
Okay,
I don't
brilliant.
play it, so I didn't really get it. But Big Boy Nady here with a comment: ghosts are like our modern day gods of the gaps, meaning when something creepy happens, we can't explain. We say it's a ghost, but that's not to say there isn't a ghost. Thank you for sitting on the fence there, Big Boy Nady, taking both our sides.
Yeah, it is to say there isn't a ghost, because ghosts don't exist.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's a metaphor for something, it stands in for something.
I'd love if ghosts existed.
What is
because then it
what is
meant there would
the
be
Shakespeare
afterlife.
quote? There's more in earth and heaven than...
Then any could be in hell.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. SMS in now. So there's a broad spectrum of experiences there to be had at PAX.
Yep.
And yeah,
Sounds fun.
people consider it to be the big one, bigger than Supernova or the Comic-Con
I don't know
comic
what Supernova
convention.
is.
It's the other one on the mainland, like it's in Sydney.
Is
And
that like
Melbourne.
superheroes? Or?
Yeah, it's a broader pop culture one.
Mm.
So that was PAX. It was good. Edge, of course, represented strongly
Yeah.
on the
I
Saturday.
didn't get an invite, so I didn't go.
We need to just set up a crowdfunding.
Yeah. How
Right.
much were the tickets, actually?
It was expensive, like over $100 each for each day.
Yeah,
They were?
and there's the 3 days, yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking, if you're doing the 3 over at $300 plus.
Wow.
And so but they're full days. It starts at 10, finishes at like 8 p.m. And I was totally enthralled at each point. And I spent 2 days pretty much by myself because clearly my interests, I don't know, maybe I did get that look in my eyes. It's like, let's just let him go. He'll come back to the hotel. We'll debrief him. But yeah, most entertaining. So all that and more was happening there, which
And
is
more.
pretty much But look, I did make a number of really interesting contacts.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I'm hoping to line up some interviews in coming weeks
Nice.
with people. Yep. So that was PAX. Oh, it's so sick. Sick, as the kids would say. Moving now on to news. Media Mothership news. There's some really... could you switch it on the PowerPoint before the computer dies? Are those...
What, this one?
Yep. There we go. Sorry. Laptop was going to die. Polygon reports on Inside the creation of the brilliant Red Dead 2 mod that reveals the backstories of NPCs. So this is the video game Red Dead Redemption 2. Have you played that? Do you know?
RDR2, yes,
Yeah.
of course I do.
Big Boy Nady sent in one more thing about Supernova. He says Supernova is good. They got a bunch of pop culture figures and actors and stuff. My sister was signing there last time because she's an author. Oh, great.
Nice.
Well, Big Boy Nady, hit us up. Always keen to interview authors that have signed books.
Yeah.
About the experience of signing. You know, I was talking to a friend and he was saying you get the desirable signed copies of books are just author's name, right? You don't want your name on it. You don't want, you know, hey, Johnny, I hope the rash clears up.
Yeah.
George R. R. Martin.
The only way that works is if you are also famous.
Oh, yeah. I guess if a famous person signed, fine. Yeah. So, Media Mothership.
Yeah, exactly. We are.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, video gaming news from Polygon, Red Dead Redemption 2. So this is a Twitch streamer has created or is using a viral mod for Red Dead Redemption 2 that forces players to watch the absurd backstories of the NPCs they kill. Right?
Oh, right.
So you'll kill an
when
NPC.
When you say backstories, you mean backstories. Okay.
Backstories. And these were scripts that he had his listeners write in for characters that then would play out as a visual. The mod gained attention for its ridiculous and heartwarming yet bizarre NPC stories, such as a character trying to speak to his dog and another character trying to brainwash his newborn. Well, let's listen to some.
Sure.
So I'll cue up. So this is what we'll hear now are some kind of death montages as you kill a character. It's very common in Red Dead Redemption where you're playing as a cowboy to kill people. Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a major part of the game.
Yep. So here's the mod that this streamer made that gives NPCs real memories that you're forced to watch when they die.
You kill them.
Yeah.
Jeez. One day, I'm going to find the greatest treasure off all. I'm going to become the pirate king. I'm going to find the One Piece. The One Piece is real. Son, to be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. The humor is extremely subtle. Oh, buddy, how I miss my buddy. Wait, how do I say this in dog? Woof, 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 woof. Bork, bork, bork. My child, it's not always about winning the money. It's about the Mets, baby. All right, baby, let's go. Get a home run, baby. Love the Mets. Let's go, Mets.
Brainwash his child? Howdy, sir.
We're here today to mourn Barry Gunini, the most feared gooner of Wild West. He was able to jam his enemy guns with his...
No. Hey, catch. Oh my God, he caught it.
Dear daughter, somehow I hope to be able to replace your lonely dadless memories with happy new ones. I will be by...
I might just delete this mod. So, we found a bug. Oh, no! Oh, God! Oh, jeez!
Yes, so that was that was the mod from Red Dead Redemption 2, which reveals the backstory of dead NPCs. Yeah. Quite amusing. I mean, it's one of the things about playing a violent game where the sense is, do people actually kind of desensitize themselves to that violence? And having a mod like that, I guess, forces you to appreciate the NPC's death as having consequence. They were a father.
Yeah.
They were a son of someone. Yeah. Could you play that? I mean, if you were playing like Skyrim, and you kill a character and you have to see their backstory.
You see, yeah, I really like the idea of that, but I don't like the execution. Like it needs, like if they did it purely lore, in a lore friendly way, I would have liked it.
How? Yeah, right. So where it's like, Well, because it could either be your life flashes before your eyes, so you see your birth,
But their life flashes before
marriage.
your eyes.
but you also yeah. Or it's a kind of heaven or hell moment. Like, are they? Do you see them in hell or do you see them in heaven? Kind of thing. How is there a particular way you think they would handle it in Skyrim?
A Sovngarde.
What is that?
Their version of heaven,
Oh,
which
okay,
is
yep, they
loosely
could depict
based off the Viking
Oh, right,
one
right,
of
right.
Valhalla.
Well, we'll have to get a mod action together with your Skyrim knowledge. Next story from GameSpot is the Japanese government makes a formal request for OpenAI
Oh,
to
yeah.
stop copyright infringement.
I saw that one.
So this is on GameSpot. There's a couple of other. It's been picked up quite broadly. Japan's government has requested OpenAI to stop infringing on some of the biggest IPs from the country. So this comes, of course, as users have widely shared various AI-generated videos featuring characters from One Piece and Pokemon on social media.
I just can't imagine anyone giving Sam Altman money. I don't like the man. I do not like him.
Well, in the article, it goes on to say that Sam Altman has acknowledged the issues and promised to give rights holders more control over content generation. But the company has yet to officially respond to the country of Japan's request, right? This is, I guess, the interesting escalation here, that it's at a nation-state level now.
Yeah.
The situation highlights the growing tension between AI innovation and copyright protection, with Japan aiming to lead global efforts in establishing AI-related intellectual property rules. Yeah. And I guess that's what they're doing, right? Japan government is virtue signaling to creators that they're going to try and be at the forefront of protecting their creators. Continuing on with... in this case, companies doing the right thing or not doing the right thing. Another article from GameSpot. Ubisoft has cancelled or reveals that it cancelled a Civil War-based Assassin's Creed game over controversy concerns.
Right. What happened? Tell me more.
Tell me more. This is mainly in the washout of the Assassin's Creed Shadows game with the black samurai protagonist
Right, yeah.
you can play. So this was allegedly, in 2024, they were brainstorming a Civil War-based Assassin's Creed game, but then that coincided with concerns because of the backlash having a black samurai caused. So the game that they were thinking of doing was going to feature a black protagonist who escaped enslavement and then joins the assassins group to confront the Ku Klux Klan and others.
Okay,
so
right.
They cancelled it because they pretty much thought the backlash that came with Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is set during the Sengoku Jidai period of Japan with samurai and so forth, where you do play as a historically correct black character, right? Yasuke, a documented historically was a live person who worked for Oda Nobunaga, the first kind of shogun of Japan.
Yep.
Or unifier, great unifier of Japan. Anyway, led to all manner of controversy. So what if? But not happening. Crusader Kings 3 news. Yes, I knew there was something I came across. This one's interesting because I first came across it on a Reddit post. I put it up on the screen. It's since been removed by the moderator. Right? That's how tapped in I am. My God, I grabbed it. So it's a locked post now, and the post has been removed from moderators because, it's a bit of a shame because the post was talking about how Crusader Kings 3 it turns out to be allegedly hugely popular with the female player base in China.
Oh, wow.
And the commentator was saying, I don't know when this was, one of the Paradox developers or community relations managers had tweeted that some Crusader Kings 3 gamers would be really upset finding out how big it is in certain countries, right? And this was what the thread was about. Why would people be upset? And the suggestion was because within CK3 there is a small part of the community who are living right-wing white fascist crusader fantasies out, where it's all about the white Christian crusade against the non-believing Islamic, non-white European world. And counterpoint to that is in fact that, some data is suggesting that in China, there's an enormous CK3 community of female gamers.
So that's what you call it if you're in the know, CK3.
CK3. And that did lead down a bit of a rabbit hole where there's a Paradox forum post which unpacks this further. The CK3 production team may not know that they have the largest female fan base of strategy games in China. And this was based on a translator who lives in Japan, who was looking through some of the, it's not Weibo, but some of the gamer forums in China and saying that there's so many young females who are posting about their playthroughs of Crusader Kings 3. And people are suggesting it's because of that kind of royal politics, the fact that you can have all this manner of Game of Thrones drama as you're being unfaithful to your husband or you're plotting revenge against your son who has betrayed you or something. Anyway, we've had some comments in from Big Boy Nady. Wild West Gooning and the Assassin's Creed will be 6. Yeah, I mean, I'd love a Civil War set. One, I've got to play the one which is set earlier on in America, where it's the French and English colonizers of America early on during that French, English, and nascent American wars that fought. I think it's Black something.
Flag?
Oh, I think that's the pirate one. Anyway.
I've never played.
I like the history of it, right? I don't know if I'm going to get into the real world stuff, like that you're like there's a real world, well, not a real world, but a contemporary. Sorry, blurring fantasy and reality. But yeah, as a portal into a beautifully rendered. In fact, that's one of the interesting things with, I haven't got it as a news article, but it is something that's come across my desk. The backing from the Middle East of Western soft power, right? That you have that comedy festival.
Oh, yes,
that
of course.
caused all the controversy.
All throughout Saudi Arabia. All of the comedy acts going there,
And I was reading into it, and it turns out that a lot of esports is basically backed and financed by Middle Eastern countries, like Saudi Arabia, as well as in the Assassin's Creed world, a Saudi Arabian funded, I believe, kind of spin-off little DLC for Assassin's Creed. Oh, what is it? Set in the Middle East, which is specifically kind of myth-making the ancient history of the Saudi Arabian area, is bubbling away at the moment. The sense that either they're buying. Some people are saying they're buying the whitewashing of their kind of undemocratic, murderous campaigns against journalists and so forth. That they're trying to whitewash that by buying a kind of happy pop culture veneer, or as is here, they will be inserting soft power content that reflects a favorable Middle Eastern narrative. There was an article I saw on ABC News saying that there are concerns in the US with the big EA purchase. Like they've just bought, what is it, EA and not Bethesda, but that whole conglomerate.
Well, Scopely is Saudi Arabian government funded. Scopely is the creator of the widely played Monopoly Go series on phone, and Scopely bought out Pokemon Go.
Right,
And
Pokemon. Right.
Yeah, so you had an influx of people who were playing Pokemon Go who were deleting their accounts frantically because they didn't want the Saudi Arabian government to know where they were.
Yeah. Well, and that's a really important point, isn't it? That fantasy world of escapism and a harsh, brutal reality of the politics of
I
that
just let
space.
Pokemon go, so I just kept my account.
Oh, well, this is, I've just found that image. This is what triggered probably Japan taking a hardcore stance. So this is, Kotaku was reporting on OpenAI is already backtracking after a flood of video game slop, including Sam Altman eating Pikachu.
I did see that.
So that was the barbecuing Pikachu.
I mean, that is the funniest thing about it, is that they released this video generation, and it can create, Sora 2, can create pretty damn spot-on imagery. And
So
all that
wrong.
people have used is Sam Altman. And then they've had, like, my favourite one that I saw was Sam Altman, security cam footage of Sam Altman stealing GPUs from a store.
I've seen tons of Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Right.
Michael
Just
Jackson.
like stealing fries.
People's
or-
Chicken. Same with what's it called? My favorite one that I saw was the Queen singer. What's his name?
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. Like, he steals someone's KFC chicken and then just sort of dances away with it while singing a song. Because Sora 2 creates the sound with it as well, and so creates a whole new song to do with
yeah,
KFC chicken.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Actually, I do have a news story on that. Here it is. So this was from the movie, the Dave Franco movie, Together, which was recently pulled. So this is an Australian body horror film called Together.
Okay.
It's been pulled from distribution in China after a Chinese distributor used AI to alter the film without the filmmaker's consent. And what the Chinese guy did was he erased a queer couple and modified a nude scene, to comply with censorship laws. So then the filmmaker later on found out about this. So it had been screened, right, in China, and they'd used like this Sora 2 technology you're talking about to body swap, I guess, maybe one of the characters to make it go from queer to heteronormative. So the filmmaker Michael Shanks decided to withdraw the film from China due to these unauthorized changes, particularly the erasure of LGBTQI relationships, which in China were considered unacceptable.
We've got another thing from B180, but I can't read it from here.
Yeah. So he's, thank you, Big Boy Nady, again, saying, I just saw the Sora 2 videos of Stephen Hawking doing skate tricks.
Yeah, that's one of my favourites. Stephen Hawking doing skate. The one that I saw, which was most recent, was Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II going on top of a ladder in like a WWE ladder and doing a frog splash on Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, look, it is interesting, isn't it? Because it does make, I mean, and many commentators are pointing this out, that it does threaten how we can trust
Oh,
our
absolutely.
knowledge of the past.
Yeah, we have gotten absolutely no sort of validity with
Well, I mean,
videos anymore.
That's why a show like Media Mothership can curate that. We have, with our knowledge, immense expertise in the real and fictional. All right, well, just to wrap up in the little time we've got left, two kind of long tail articles where forgotten media has reemerged as being interesting. One is forgotten Marvel movie is getting a surprise revival on Netflix. That was the fact that Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, where Nick Cage plays the Ghost Rider
one
figure.
of the worst actors in the world, but surprisingly watchable even so.
Has suddenly pumped up again, circulating on Netflix. And, you know, at the time it was released in cinema, it was very, very poorly received critically. But it was considered a box office success. But yes, certainly did not tickle over into a larger franchise build. And then also, Daniel Craig's No Time to Die finds success on Prime Video 5 years later. So the idea that these new metrics are starting to pop up around forgotten or critically panned filmed. So, of course, Daniel Craig's No Time to Die was the final film he played as James Bond. And Prime Video have announced it's one of their big successful movie releases at the moment.
That's crazy.
Coming in at number 5 on Prime Video's top 10 movies in the US and performing well in the 8 countries that at least they're releasing data on from Prime Video.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how these kind of low-tier forgotten films suddenly circulate on a streaming service and people, for whatever reason, jumping on them and they're getting these large numbers for when they decide to disclose them. One of the problems, of course, with streaming services is we never get that data until they let us know it at their discretion.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's Media Mothership for this week. Thanks, Big Boy Nady and other listeners for tuning in. And coming up next, we'll do some Media Mothership tunes. So if you want to hear some Media Mothership tunes, you'll need to go to the website, edgeradio.org.au.
Or just keep listening.
Yeah, if you're on FM, you won't be. I mean, if you're on YouTube or Twitch, we'll be in breach of copyright, so we can't do that. We can't do that. I mean, I'm more than happy to do an hour of this. Atametone. I think I'm getting better. All right. Well, keep listening now.
That's debatable.
To more Edge Radio. We'll be off next week, as I said, unfortunately. I will try and schedule one of my favorite repeat shows from the archive. So do listen in if you can. So all that and more on Edge Radio 99.